Are we all set, Mr. Chairman? Matt?
I'm ready. I'm just waiting for my cue with Matthew. Are we set, Matt?
Yep, we're now live.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. I'm Patrick Halpin, the chairman of the Town of Babylon Planning Board. Today is August 3rd, 2020. Denise, could you please take the attendance?
Sure. Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Michael Cafaro.
Present.
Frank Santos.
Present.
Julianne Nolan.
Present.
Jerry O'Neill. Dan Truchin.
Present.
Ed Wynn.
Present.
Richard Casey.
Present.
Rich Grow.
Present.
Matthew Esposito.
Present.
Okay, Matthew.
Good evening. Tonight we have one public hearing on the agenda utilizing the Zoom webinar application. We will have the applicants joining us to present their application to the board and answer any questions. Following the presentation, we will individually call upon members of the public who have registered to speak regarding this application. Individuals will be promoted from an attendee to a panelist in order to voice their comments. For the record, there is one member of the public registered to speak on Planning Board Job Number 20-21B, Renzon Holdings, LLC. This hearing is also being live streamed on the Town of Babylon YouTube channel. Following each presentation and public comments, the public hearing will be closed. The record for the matter shall be held open for a minimum of 7 days. As long as the record is open, any member of the public who did not register to participate in tonight's Zoom meeting can provide comments on the application by email or regular mail directed to mailing address, Town of Babylon, Planning Board, 200 East Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757, or to the email address, planningcomments@townofbabylon.com. If you have any questions or require any additional information, please call the planning department at 631-957-3103.
Matthew, thank you very much. Denise?
The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permit, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Okay, thank you very much, Denise. Let's go to the public hearing now.
So item A on the agenda, public hearing for a minor subdivision, planning board job number 20-21B, Renzon Holdings, LLC. The proposal is to subdivide a parcel totaling approximately 10,929 square feet into 2 lots in order to construct 2 two-story single-family dwellings on each new lot.
All right, thank you very much. Who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay.
I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you. Before we get into your presentation, have you had an opportunity to review the memo from the Planning Commission of Town of Babylon dated July 29th, 2020 regarding this application?
Yes, I have that one.
So have you reviewed of the conditions for lot 1 and 2, as well as the restrictive covenant for both lots 1 and 2?
Yes.
Do you have any issues, concerns, or comments that you'd like to bring to the attention of the planning board?
The only question I would bring to your attention would be regarding the basement.
Oh, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
The only concern would be the basement.
The basement. What is your concern about the basement?
Whether or not the applicant is permitted to have a basement if they relocated the mechanicals.
Just looking for that. Where is that on this? I'm just going through all the conditions and.
It's not technically listed as a condition. It's in the comments.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, that's, I believe, I spoke with Brian Bischoff. He's the planner on this application. And I believe that's one of the outstanding comments referenced in the second paragraph as minor outstanding comments. I believe it's something that's still under review currently in planning and with the DEC.
Okay. All right, fine. Thank you. Please proceed.
The premises is located on the north side of Beaver Lane. It's east of Route 109. It's in the Residence A zone. It's presently vacant, but it was previously improved with a dwelling. I believe the dwelling burned down, and then my client purchased the property. So from the aerial photo, you see that there was a dwelling there, but that's no longer there. We did get our variances back in February. The average frontage on this street is 60 feet, and we're proposing 2 lots having 67.5 feet. So if you see on the aerial that Mr. Esposito is showing, Matt, if you pull out a little bit, yeah. So all of these lots, as you go along Beaver Lane, basically where our lot is highlighted, we would look just like all those other lots. We're just proposing to put 2 houses there, very similar in frontage and depth to the other parcels that are on the block. So one parcel would have 5,763 square feet, and the other parcel would have 5,166 square feet. Each home would be 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. We were asked by the zoning board if we would put an internal garage on the homes. Originally, they were not proposed to have garages, but there were a few residents that came out, albeit to support the application, but they did have a concern about off-street parking. So what we did was we have an internal garage now, and then we have a double driveway. So we can accommodate the off-street parking. We can really more than accommodate it. And the homes are modest sized homes to fit the parcels that they would be on. But that was basically the concern that was brought to us at the zoning board. We feel that in the context of Beaver Lane, that the lot as it is now is not in character because it has 135 feet of frontage. So it is a wider looking parcel. So as you walk down the street, having 2 houses here would not seem out of the ordinary. We did meet with planning on numerous occasions to pick a styled home that would fit the lot. I am aware that now, I believe planning wants not just a different facade per se, but might want a different architectural feature on each home. So that's something that we would work with planning once again to figure out how they want the home styled. But we agree to all the covenants. Again, we've got all our variances back in February. And if the board has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you. Do any of members of the board have any questions? I just have one question. What is your client thinking about in terms of the style of the house, so that they don't look exactly the same?
Well, originally, what we did to make them not be the same was if you can kind of see on these here, let's say on the elevation. Thank you, Matt. So there's this style where you have the stone on the bottom, and the roof is a little different than I believe the other elevation has a different facade. But I was just told within the last maybe couple of weeks that planning might want a different architectural feature on the proposed home. See how this one is different? It has a different front to it, a different stone style. So this is something new. Normally planning just wants the houses to be mirrored and to have a different color or a different facade. Having a different architectural feature, we're open to it. We had never heard of it before. So we'll work with them.
So you'll work with planning?
Yeah, absolutely.
To address their thinking on this. Okay,
Sure.
Very good. Do any of the members of the board have any questions? No, hearing none. Thank you. I believe, did you say we have a member of the community that is registered to participate?
Yes, we do. We have one public speaker. Her name is Kathy Butler, and I'm going to promote her right now to a panelist to give her the opportunity to speak.
Hello.
She's here, and I think
Yes,
Hello.
I don't know why my picture's not in there, but hello, everybody. I was at the last meeting and
Hold
when,
Butler, could you hold on for just 1 second? It's Pat Halpern. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
oh, Kathy Butler, 47 Beaver Lane, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please proceed. Thank you.
Okay, at the last meeting, the one thing that was really a concern to all of us on the block was parking. And I understand, I heard what she was saying about how she added a garage, but the driveway is going to be the same size as all the driveways on the block. They're each gonna have a single driveway. And all the houses, majority of these houses on the block are either 2 or 3 bedroom homes, not 4. So now you're talking about 8 bedrooms with eventually they're going to drive. There's no parking. The parking is atrocious on this block. It's just really bad. I don't know where, if there's eventually 8 people are going to be driving. Where are they going to, if they want to put 1 car in the garage, fine. 2 cars in the driveway, where are the other cars going to go? It's a dead end block. I mean, the cars are squished now. These were once bungalows. They were 1 bedroom bungalows, 1 to 2 bedrooms, and people bought them when real estate went down, and now they're 2 or 3 bedroom homes. You're asking to put 2 4 bedrooms. The home that was there before was a 4 bedroom home with 2 driveways, 2 double driveways. Now you're asking to put 8 bedrooms there. Where are they going to park? That's my concern, and that is my neighbor's concern. And this is what was brought up the last meeting, and that is why they added the garage. But that's still not going to solve the problem.
Okay. No, we hear you. Thank you very much. And those comments will be noted for the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else who would like to address this application? Are there any questions by the board? No. Could we ask Ms. Blanda to come back? Are you able to?
I'm still here.
Okay, thank you. Could you address the concern that you heard regarding parking? It
Yes.
is a fair, I mean, as we see in families, as soon as children become teenagers, they become old enough to get a car. Many of them end up having cars there for themselves.
Correct.
How do you propose to address?
So what we did was, in addition to the garage, the driveway is a double driveway and it's 23 feet deep. Normally a car, so for example, in a parking lot, a car requires a 9x19 or a 9x20, right, Matt? So on a driveway, presumably, if you're stacking, because you could conceivably fit 3 to 4 cars in the driveway alone, and then you also have the garage.
Okay.
It's not a single driveway, it's a double driveway. There's a line that's proposed sewer service. That's not a line cutting the driveway. The driveway is actually a double wide driveway.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add for the record?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Matthew?
So as the memo states, there are some minor outstanding comments from DEC and as well as planning regarding the architecture. Planning department recommends extending the record to 8/17/20.
May I have a motion to send the record to August 17th, 20? Let's see, motion by Dan,
Motion.
second by. Dan, did I hear you say a second? Hello, Julianne?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
I'm going to
Okay,
move I'm gonna move Nicole back to an attendee, because we have somebody in between you. Sorry.
All right, no problem.
So item B is site plan review, informational hearing. Number 1, planning board job number 20-08A, Deborah Yelvington. Proposal is interior alterations and site work in connection with the addition of an exterior loading dock with retaining wall, drainage structures, and new overhead door.
Is there somebody here on behalf of the applicant or?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Could you
Good
please stay?
evening.
And I can see you as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Deborah Yelvington of Dynamic Permits, located at 20 Waterford Drive in Wheatley Heights, New York, 11798, as agent for the owner. Also with me tonight is our registered design professional, William Keenan, engineer. Is he available also, Matt, or do we have to switch to him?
No, I believe Mr. Keenan is here. We don't have a video, but he looks like he is unmuted.
Okay.
I am here. I don't see myself, but I can see all you. Thank you.
Did you open up
Yep.
your camera on your phone, your video?
Yes, I believe I did. Hold on.
At the top, yeah.
I should be a pro at this by now.
It's okay. Take your,
Okay, here it comes. Okay. Sorry about that.
not a problem. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let me, please, could you state your name and address for the record? as
My name
well?
is William Keenan, 1 Highwoods Court, St. James, New York, 11780.
And your background is?
I am a civil engineer.
You both raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
We do.
Okay, thank you very much.
I do.
All right. Who wants to start? Deborah?
I will, Mr. Chairman, thank you. As a house loan of 145 Philco LLC. Just a little background, Mr. Salone owns this property at 145 Schmidt Boulevard for just over the past 10 years. And Mr. Salone also owns the adjacent property at number 135 Schmidt Boulevard. The original building was built and CO'd back in 1965. This property got a large rear addition to the warehouse space, and that was CO'd back in 1977. There was some boiler room alterations CO'd in 1995, and the current owner has made no changes to the building since the purchase. Just to review the scope then of our application, that we are looking to expand the loading dock with retaining wall. We have an existing loading dock, the space for one truck to enter in and go down the loading ramp. And we are looking to remove the retaining wall that's there and widen it to a double spot, adding a new retaining wall with a height somewhere between 18 inches to 36 inches above the adjacent grade. We're adding a new 8x10 roll-up door and removing a couple of windows at the back of the building, which Matt is on page 3 of the north elevation. And we're adding a new dry well system with over 1,300 square feet of capacity. We've reviewed and had a few comments from the planning department, made resubmission, and we have a few other comments to get back to now. Otherwise, I believe that we've been fine with these drawings.
Okay. Before we go any further, we have a memo from the planning commissioner dated July 20th, 2020 regarding this application. Have you had an opportunity to review this with your client?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions or concerns or anything you'd like to bring to the attention of the board regarding this memorandum?
No.
So you accept all of the conditions, covenants, and restrictions that are outlined in the memo?
Yes, we do, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is there anything that the civil engineer adds what we just heard?
No, no, sir, I don't.
Anything, nothing at all?
No.
Okay. Fine. Are there any questions by the board? Any questions? No? Hearing none? Okay, I have one question. Why are you doing this? Why are you making this change with the loading dock? So we have that on.
You're on mute, Debbie.
Debbie?
She
Sorry,
muted
my
us.
phone was ringing in the office. I had to mute it for a minute.
Probably.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, you
Why-
said why getting it is for the continued growth of this business. Mr.
Mhm.
Salone again owns the adjacent site. He also owns a site across the street and is looking to acquire another property as well. But they have it's HVAC business. They have a lot to store in the warehouse, and their trucks are often waiting for one another. So he needs the additional ramp space so that truck can back up, unload, and continually make room for the next one.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let me go back to the other board members. Do you have any questions? Okay, hearing none. Matthew?
As per the memorandum from the commissioner, some minor revisions are required in planning, engineering, building and highway engineering. And the planning department recommends extending the record until August 17th.
Okay, may I have a motion to extend the record? A motion by Ed,
Motion.
second by Dan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Anyone opposed? And no, I heard it unanimous. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank
you.
you.
Item 2, Planning Board Job Number 19-37A, Sahara Property Management, Inc. proposes to maintain existing tenants and CrossFit gym in multi-tenant building.
Okay, on behalf of the applicant.
Sorry, this is Nicole Blind again. I'm just moving her back to a panelist, and also with her is George Badger, architect, and they're both being added right now.
Thank you.
Hi again.
Hello, welcome back.
You want me to put my name on the record again?
Of course.
Nicole Blanda, Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melbourne.
Okay, please proceed.
I also have with me tonight George Badger, our architect. I don't know if you want to swear him in now. This way, if
Why don't we do that? Matt, is he? And
I'm sorry, yes, he is with us and he is unmuted. He's on camera as well.
Yep,
sir, where are you?
I'm right to the left of you, right over here.
Okay, all right, there you are. That's all, you just popped up on my screen. All right, again, please state your name and address for the record as well as your credentials.
George Badger, licensed architect with Spaces Architects, 410 West Montauk Highway, Lindenhurst, New York.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Blanda, begin.
So this site is on the south side of Route 109 over in East Farmingdale. It's near Republic Airport, the Hollywood Motel, and some other industrial sites over there. The existing site is just shy of an acre. We have 0.862 acres. There's an existing building. My computer. Every time I screen shares, the computer changes the screen on me. There we go. Okay, so if you're looking at the aerial, you'll see there's an existing building. That footprint is 15,992 square feet. That is how our client purchased the property in 2018. Just to give the board a little history with the COs. In 63, there was a CO issued for light industrial. In 68, for a warehouse and lunchroom. In 71, there was a change of use to a discotheque. And in 1992, a CO for interior alterations. There used to be a theater here. Now you can see on this aerial, Brooklyn Doors. That's a retail space that's currently occupied. The deli zone on the other end of the building is there. In 2004. Not the applicant, but the prior owner did have a CO for the deli, but it had been expanded, and I guess our client didn't realize when he purchased that it had been expanded, and so he would have to come in to legalize that. So that's why there are some things that we're looking to maintain and legalize. So there's also a CrossFit on site, which has been closed through COVID. I can't really speak to whether or not it's going to reopen, but as of right now, it is closed. So if we look at the site plan, there are 2 existing curb cuts on Route 109, and right now, George's office is handling the application to the New York State DOT to do some work, some repair of the curbs on the on Route 109. I believe they're expanding them slightly. They're repairing the sidewalk, repairing the curb, removing existing aprons. And then there's a lot of site work that the owner has been asked to do and that he is going to do, such as patching and repairing the asphalt as required on the site. There's going to be new parking stall striping throughout the site, new handicap access. You can see the symbols there. New fencing along the perimeter. There'll be the standard Town of Babylon 6-foot black vinyl coated chain link fence. A new refuse enclosure in the rear corner of the property as required, a 10 by 16. There's a landscape buffer between the property and the Long Island Railroad that's being put in, being planted. Some dark sky fixtures, in addition to existing lighting. So there is a variance. We're going to be going for a parking variance. We are required to have 61 spaces. We're providing 41, but I do believe it's a variance that we can get. You know, unfortunately for the property owner, he does have vacant space right now. And again, you know, with the pandemic, he really isn't sure what tenants will be utilizing the spaces, but we are here to, you know, to hopefully get the site plan approval and move on to our zoning board hearing. You know, any questions about the building or how the site will flow, we can answer that. George is here too.
Let's go back to the memo from the commissioner dated July 29th. You
Sure.
had the opportunity to review with your client.
Yes.
You have. Are there any questions or comments that you have regarding it, or anything that you would like to bring to our attention? There is an extensive item 15 regarding parking and spillover. We'll talk about that in a minute, but is there anything else to bring to our attention?
Well, after number 13 on covenants and restrictions, it says additional conditions and covenants and restrictions may be requested upon further review. So obviously I can't comment or consent at this time to something that's not being presented.
All right. But as far as what is here, Matt, will this come back to the planning board after the zoning board?
It will come back to the planning board for a vote after all the outstanding comments have been decided. If the board so chooses, they can choose for the ZBA variances to be granted before they choose to approve the site plan. It's also a stated condition, number 4, that it's subject to ZBA approval. Oftentimes you do see site plan approval granted while ZBA is still pending, but that's the board's option.
Okay. Richard, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, well, maybe Ms. Blanda can just amplify the variances that are being sought from the zoning board for our own information.
All right, thank you. Could you speak to that, please?
Sure. My understanding of the variance that's being required of us is a parking variance.
Mhm.
So we have we're providing 41 spaces, and we are required to have 61 spaces. We do have a breakdown. You know, part of the parking calculation is for the CrossFit because it's an assembly use. The rest of it, I believe, is being calculated as retail, except for the deli with their 16 max seats. So, I mean, if you want me to go through the breakdown, I can, but again, I'm not sure by the time I get to the zoning board hearing, some of it, if the parking will diminish even further depending on who our tenants are, but in any event, that's the parking variance. I do have to speak with the plans examiner. Her denial mentioned something about a fire sprinkler system. However, we had submitted a letter from Mr. Badger and the condition was removed from the planning memo, which leads me to believe that it's no longer an issue, so we wouldn't be going for a variance for it. So that's something I need to check with the building department about.
All right, well, why don't we hear about how you anticipate this site working from your engineer?
Sure.
Sir?
As I'm here, is there a specific question or just it's? I mean, essentially right now we're going to DOT, we're having the curb cuts repaired, so they're actually slightly wider. Basically, in terms of environmental, the dumpster can easily enter the first curb cut straight into back to the dumpster. So environmental was happy where the dumpster location was. It's a bit of a tight site only because of the configuration over the years that the building developed. So it's not a standard square box. You can see it's kind of jigsawed back and forth. So we attempted to get as much of the parking as possible, and safely have the people come in and park correctly, according to the Town of Babylon standards. There's accessible handicap parking in the front, which then, would access the gym area, provided that, the gym is functioning once, COVID is over with, and to also access the deli. We did do 2 parallel parking spaces alongside the building next to the deli, which I think it was Cameron Engineering agreed with the way the configuration laid out. They had no issues with that being within the drive aisle lane. It's adjacent to it, but there's plenty of enough room to move back and forth. Some of the minor comments that Cameron Engineering had was for us to eliminate some of the bumper curbs in the front. So the next round of comments that are going back from our office to the planning department has those taken into consideration. And then they just wanted the 2 parallel spots shifted up slightly away from the end spot number 16. But for the most part, Cameron Engineering signed off on their comments. We had some minor comments from engineering in terms of drainage. The drainage in this area, especially in the back of the building, is really, really way undersized. So we added significant drainage in the back to take care of it, and there'll be new grading back there, because right now when it rains, it's basically just a swimming pool back there. So that's all going to be taken care of as well.
All right. Thank you very much. Can I ask, do any of the board members have any questions? Hello?
I have a question for Ms. Blanda. With the improvements that you're proposing, do you have a rendering of what you expect the building to look like?
I would ask George, did we do any specific elevation?
No, we're not changing. We're actually not touching the building at all. The only thing that we're really doing is legalizing some of the spaces. For example, that the back deli area was never permitted. So you'll see that small area in the back that is going back into buildings where the walk-in box is. That was an addition done unbeknownst to the client, so we're legalizing that. But all of the storefront, the brick, the building is basically not being touched in terms of anything that the building department has not requested us to do anything with the building, quite honestly. And I really don't know what's happening with the signage. I mean, I don't know who's going in or who's going out. So, I mean, that would come down later on as to what would happen in front there. But basically the storefronts are all staying where they are. Nothing's being renovated on the building itself.
All right, thank you. Do any of the other board members have any questions? No? Okay. Matthew?
Yes, as per the planning memorandum from the commissioner, there are minor outstanding comments in engineering and traffic safety. The planning department recommends extending the record to 8/24/20.
Michael, will you make a motion to extend the record to August 24th? Okay, thank you. Second, Julianne,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Thank you very much.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Aye.
Good night.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is C, work session for site plan review, planning board job number 20-11A, Winter Center for Autism.
I believe we heard this matter last week at the planning board. There were no outstanding departmental comments, and the record had been closed and it was brought back. I'll defer to Mr. Grow and Mr. Casey regarding the status of the resolutions.
Mr. Grow? Hello?
Rich?
Rich Grow?
He's on mute.
Rich, you're on mute.
Sorry, I had a little bit of sound going here. This was Brian Zatani's job. I don't have the reso in front of me. Was a type 2 action in your comments received?
Yes, I believe we have, we got the, yeah, I'm sorry, it's right here. It's unlisted action.
Unlisted, uncoordinated review of Mr. Grow.
Okay, so I have not seen the secret determination. Just trying to figure out how we can address that right now.
I believe we received it back from Brian.
Can you put it, if it's okay with the board, can we put it up on the screen? I'll look at it right now. Make sure it's in order.
Is that possible?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me because I didn't have it up. Yep. Sorry, give me one sec here.
And Mr. Grow,
Sir,
to your analysis, while I haven't looked at the underlying documents, the resolution seems to correctly set forth the secret review and appears to be in the form acceptable to the board.
yes. Yes, Matt has it up. You can just scroll down. I can see it. It looks good. Ready to roll.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay? Sorry for the trouble.
Not a problem. All right, Denise, so we need to approve the negative declaration, is that correct?
Yes.
So let's do that. Ed, will you make a motion to approve the negative deck?
Motion?
All right. Second, Michael,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion is approved. Resolution.
Item E, resolution site plan review, planning board job number 20-11A, Winter Center for Autism.
Matthew?
Yep, this is just the resolution for the site plan approval for the Winter Center for Autism. I believe that the resolution is in good order, but I'd defer to Mr. Casey.
Mr.
Yes,
Casey,
all of the conditions, covenants, and restrictions are agreed to, and the resolution is ready in good order.
okay. May I have a motion to approve? Frank, will you make that motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, second Ed,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Item F, resolution, modified site plan, planning board job number 19-08A, RR 590 Oak Family LP.
Matt,
So this application was previously approved by the planning board back in November of 2019. This was Planter Works. They fabricate like large metal planters, and they just submitted a modified site plan to make some changes to the drainage system on the southeast portion of the site. All departmental comments have been received, and there are no outstanding issues at this time.
right? Anybody have any questions? Hearing none, a motion to approve by Julianne.
Motion to approve.
Okay, second Frank,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? None. The resolution is approved.
Item G, architectural review. Number 1, application number 123313, CNR construction of a new house.
Matthew,
Everything is in good order with this application, Mr. Chairman. Zoning Board of Appeals approval has been obtained, and this is for the construction of a new house located in Wyandanch.
by Dan. Dan?
Yep.
Okay, motion by Dan, second by Frank,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution.
Item 2, application number 135916, Joe Gilpin Jr., also for an expansion of existing house.
Everything is in good order with this application as well. There are no outstanding comments, and the resolution is ready for approval.
All right. Motion by Michael,
Motion.
a second by Ed,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution is approved.
Item H, communications. Number 1, memo dated July 30th, 2020 from Rachel Shelfo, Commissioner of Planning and Development, to Patrick Halpin, Chairperson Planning Board, regarding Planning Board job number 19-08A, RR 590 Oak Family Modified, stating no objection to the approval of the modified site plan, which is what we just voted on.
Yes, okay, read and approved.
Rich, do we have to read the reserved communications, or
No,
should they
the-
just stay on the calendar?
No, the next 3 items are for a future communication relating to a future application that'll be heard in a few weeks. They'll remain on reserve until the hearing. We'll read and file them on that particular day.
Okay, so then we're going to jump down to minutes, July 13th, 2020.
And I went over them with you earlier today and we made the corrections, and so they're perfect now.
All right, thank you. A motion by Michael?
Yes, motion.
Second by Julianne,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes.
Motion, minutes of July 20th, 2020.
I had to recuse.
Okay, Julianne, any comments?
Motion to approve. They were fine.
Okay, motion by Julianne, second by Ed,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes.
Okay, so now we're going to go to page 4. Public hearing date, May 1st, 2017. Planning Board job number 1704 ADE. Gus Wade.
Matthew?
Same status for this application. There has been no changes. Still pending at the town board level. We recommend extending the record to 10/26/20.
Okay. Let's see, can I have a motion by Frank, to extend the,
Motion to extend.
okay, second by Dan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We go to page 5, public hearing date December 9th, 2019. Job number 19-24AK, Conklin Street Partners LLC.
Same status that has been pending for the last few weeks. Planning and traffic safety have been working on the traffic signal plan at this location for Conklin Street. While that is still pending, the planning department recommends extending the record to 8/10/20.
Okay. Motion to extend the record, Ed,
Motion.
second by Michael.
Second.
Favor? Aye.
Aye.
The record is extended.
Page 7, public hearing date June 15th, 2020. Planning Board job number 18-29AN, Dixon Gas Corp.
All right.
I touched base with Brian Bischoff. He's the planner on this application. Revisions were just submitted last week, and he recommends extending the record to 8/24/20.
Motion to extend the record, a motion by Julianne.
Motion to extend.
Okay, second by Ed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The record is extended.
Public hearing date July 13th, 2020. Number 1, Planning Board job number 19-06A, 7-Eleven Corp.
Okay.
So the applicant had submitted revisions just prior to their hearing date of July 13th. Comments are pending still from engineering and traffic safety, and I believe some minor revisions will also be required. We recommend extending the record to September 14th, 2020.
Okay, motion to extend, Ed.
Motion.
Okay, second, Dan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's
Opposed?
my anniversary.
Planning Board job number 19-54A, WM.
Matt?
I spoke with Brian Bischoff as well on this application. The applicant had submitted revisions just after their hearing date, and those plans are still currently under review. He recommends extending the record to 8/17/20.
Okay, let's extend the record. Motion by Dan,
Motion.
second by Frank.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Record is extended.
And just a note for page 8, public hearing date July 27th. The Winter Brothers application, the record extended date was just left off. It is not tonight. It was extended to 8/10/20. So nothing needs to be done tonight with that.
All right. Thank you.
That brings us through the whole reserve calendar.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else that anyone would like to bring to our attention?
No.
No? Then, Frank, you've just joined, or did you? I don't know if you left, but you're back. Okay, so anything, Matt, that we should be aware of?
No, nothing. We just have 2 public hearings next week and then 1 site plan review. So 3 applications again on the agenda next week.
So next week we will be where? We'll be doing this.
Here, one more.
Pardon me?
Next week
Still
will be
on
our
Still on Zoom?
a Zoom meeting.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Julianne,
Motion to adjourn, 7:51 PM.
7:50. Okay. Thank you. Denise, I have a quick question before you jump
Sure.
regarding